Welcome. We are going to talk about how to find the mean, which you did in the previous lesson, standard deviation, and variance, and fill out the massive tables that you see in Unit 3, Lesson 6. Now, before we get to the massive table, know that that table is literally your work for the problem from the beginning, from mean at the beginning to standard deviation at the end. So before we do all that and get so lost in all of it, let's just do the basics first. And so we're going to start with question 7. And it says, use your calculator to find the mean, which they show as the symbol X with a bar over it. And then standard deviation, which is an O with a little hat, looks like a ball cap. That's actually the lowercase letter sigma, rounded to the nearest hundredth. So we're going to do that. Now, as your little cheat sheet, here are what all of those symbols and things like that mean. So our very first step, which we've done before in this lesson or this unit, is start with a table, because I only want to type those numbers one time. I don't want to have to keep retyping them over and over again. I don't want to have to add them. I don't want to do anything. Put them in once and move forward. So we're going to go to the plus key. We're going to hit table, and we're going to type our numbers in. And remember, if you just press enter, it'll take you to the next line. 98, 69, 72, 74, 83, 81, and 81. Now it asks us to find the mean. So we're going to go down to our next line, and we're literally going to type that word, mean. And then we're going to open a parenthesis. And all of our data is listed in our table up here in X1. So we're going to type X1. Now, I'm not making it go down to the bottom. I just typed the 1 key. And there's our mean. That's our answer. Just round it off because it says rounded to the nearest hundredth. Now it wants us to find the standard deviation, which I need those same numbers. And I could literally type them in the parentheses, but I just don't want to. I want to type it once, remember? So we're going to come down here and we're going to go STDEVP, meaning standard deviation of the entire population or the entire list of numbers. You've got to make sure you have that P on there. Now, if you forget, you just go down here to the keypad. Let me move my little self right there. Go to functions. Look at this. I keep getting in the way. And scroll down to statistics. And you can see it right here, STDEVP. Now, you don't want the one without the P because that will not count all of your numbers. It will only count some of your numbers. It'll get an answer close, but it won't be right. So make sure you use the one with the P, okay? Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and close that keyboard so y'all can see everything. And then again, we open with parentheses, X1, and there it is. There's our standard deviation. And you put those answers in the blanks. That's all you do. Here we go. So now we're looking at question 5, which has the big table. But notice it still asks us for the mean right here, X with the bar over it, and it still asks us way down here for the standard deviation, S. So we're actually going to use the same process. It says find the information needed to complete the table, then complete the table and find the standard deviation. So this is just all the steps needed to do the math. So our first thing is to clear out this table, and we're going to do a new one. So we're going to go table, and we're going to put in our data. We're going to put in X. Yes, we're starting in the middle of the table. Okay, we don't know our number of data points yet because we haven't counted them. So we're going to type them in, -1, -4, -3, -6, -1, -2, -2, -4. All right. Now I can manually count these, but I don't want to mess up, and you can't see my finger on the screen. So I'm going to say count X1, and it tells us there are 8. So the number of data points is going to be 8. Grab my little marker tool. All right, now the next one asks for the sum of X, meaning this letter right here is a capital sigma, and it tells us that means sum. So we're going to add all the numbers together. So I'm going to say total, can't type the word sum, x1. And there it is, it's negative 23. And then it asks us for the mean. So we're going to type in mean, and we're going to type in x1. And we find out it's negative 2.875. Now, I have a feeling I missed a number in here because I feel like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 numbers. I knew this because I knew that was not the right answer. So let's go back and double check. Negative 1, negative 4. Oh, right there. I needed another negative 4 in there. So there's not 8 numbers, there are 9. And notice my count automatically changed and my mean automatically changed and my total changed. This is the nice thing about putting your work in Desmos, is it fixes all the calculations for you. All right, so let's grab our little marker, and now we know that this right here is not 8, it is 9. This is negative 27, and this right here is negative 3. I knew this one had all whole numbers. Now we need to do our table. Well, we've got our numbers. We're going to go right up here at the top where it says y1. I'm going to delete that out. And I'm going to say x1 minus negative 3. And there's all your numbers. Now ignore the green dots. It's drawing the scatter plot. These values are that first column. Now to get the second column, we see our formula right here. That's how I knew what to type. It said x, well, here in Desmos, that's x1, minus x with the bar over, which is mean. Well, that's negative 3. So we're going to go parentheses, x1 minus negative 3, close my parentheses, and we're going to square it to match that second column. So there's the numbers for that column. And you would just fill it in. It's not hard math, it's just a lot of numbers to deal with. Now we're going to go to the bottom, okay? Ignore all that. And we're going to find the sum of our second column. So where we squared. So we are going to find the sum of these numbers right here. Okay? Then we're going to find the average of those, because that's the sum divided by n, which was our data points. This is also known as the variance. Okay? So we're actually going to skip this blank and we're going to type in VARP. Remember last time I told you how to put that P at the end of standard deviation to get the whole set of numbers. And we're going to type in X1 as we've always done. 2.44. So that answer is our variance, which is after we've divided. So that goes right here, 2.44. Now, why did I jump here? Well, because we don't actually have a simple little total for this. We can't just go total x1. But I can take my 2.44 and multiply it by n, and it will give me this number. So if I multiply this by n, and remember n equals 9, it's the number of digits in our list, we'll have our answer. So we're going to scroll down. And we're going to say, right here, times 9. And we find out it's 22. Okay. Now our last step is to do the standard deviation. Well, we've done that before. S t, DEV p, don't forget it, x1. And there's your answer, 1.56. Okay. Now, if you want to learn all these steps without having to use Desmos like that, that's okay. You can come right here and you can learn how to do it by hand. There's a video, or you can follow along and do my math. And you can see I do all the steps and I show you exactly what math I added, subtracted, multiplied, divided, or square root. It's up to you which way you want to go. Happy solving!